Let's be completely honest. Office printers and copiers are practically invisible until the exact moment something breaks. Paper jams start multiplying. Weird streaks ruin your important presentation. And those cryptic error codes start flashing on the display. Suddenly, office productivity grinds to a halt, and everyone's frustration goes through the roof. Today, we are talking about why you cannot afford to ignore your print fleet. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Copier Channel. I'm Dr. Copy. You might think a paper jam is just a minor annoyance. Still, industry analysts consistently report that up to 50% of all internal IT help desk calls are related to printer issues. That is a massive daily drain on your company's highly paid technical resources. Preventive maintenance is the secret to reducing downtime, extending the life of your devices, and lowering your long-term repair cost. Businesses that treat their printer as critical infrastructure experience way fewer disruptions. So let's dive into the top 10 preventive maintenance tips to keep your fleet running smoothly. Tip number 1 is to keep the machine clean, both inside and out. Before we even talk about mechanical parts, we have to talk about the biggest silent killer of office equipment, and that is dust. Dust accumulation absolutely wreaks havoc on paper feed rollers, internal sensors, imaging components, and ventilation systems. You want to make sure your team is regularly wiping down the exterior surfaces, cleaning out the paper trays, and gently removing dust from accessible compartments. However, a major word of caution here. Internal cleaning requires a delicate touch. You should always follow the manufacturer's guidelines or leave the deep internal cleaning to a professional service technician, so you do not accidentally scratch a drum unit. Next up, let us talk about your paper. You might not realize this, but paper quality and how you store it directly impacts printer performance. Now, if you look up printer tips online, you will usually hear warnings about paper acting like a sponge and absorbing humidity. For those of us operating out here in Las Vegas and Southern California, we are fighting a completely different climate. Leaving an open rim of paper sitting out on a desk turns into a giant dust magnet. Microscopic dirt and debris settle right onto those exposed sheets. When you load that dusty paper onto the machine, it acts like sandpaper, carrying all that abrasive debris straight into your delicate feed rollers and imaging components, causing premature wear and tear. Furthermore, our bone-dry air actually sucks the natural moisture right out of the paper. This makes the sheets brittle and creates a massive amount of static electricity. That static makes the pages literally cling together, which is exactly why your machine suddenly starts grabbing 3 or 4 sheets at a single time and jamming. To prevent this, always keep your paper sealed in its original packaging until the exact moment you're ready to use it. Don't forget to fan your paper multiple times before loading it into the tray. Let us move on to the heart of the machine. Your consumables. Toner cartridge, drum units, and fuser assemblies naturally wear down over time. Waiting until those parts completely fail and your screen flashes 0% is a guaranteed way to bring your office workflow to a grinding halt. In fact, running completely out of toner is one of the most common, yet entirely preventable, causes of printer downtime. Fortunately, you can utilize a feature on modern copy machines that automatically orders your toner for you by registering with a compatible supplier through your printer management application. You can completely automate your supply chain. Here is exactly how it works. Your machine monitors its own levels, and when it senses that the toner is running low, it automatically sends an update to your selected fulfillment provider. Like our team right here at AIS, we get the alert and we immediately ship the exact right toner directly to your office. It arrives at your door before your current cartridges even runs empty. This means you never have to stockpile thousands of dollars of extra toner in a supply closet. And you never have to pay high overnight shipping fees in a panic ever again. How nice is that? Responding promptly to this maintenance alert is great, but automating them is even better. While you are tracking those consumables, you also need to monitor your monthly print volume. Every single printer comes with a recommended monthly duty cycle from the manufacturer. Consistently pushing a printer past this volume leads to severe roller wear, overheating, and mechanical fatigue. If that one specific device in the hallway is doing all the heavy lifting for the entire floor, it is going to break down prematurely. This is exactly why AIS performs comprehensive print fleet assessments. We help you analyze your usage data to completely right-size your fleet, ensuring no single machine is overworked and every department has the exact equipment they actually need. Tip number 5 is an absolute must for your network security. Printers are not just mechanical boxes. They are highly sophisticated endpoints on your network. Hackers actively target printer firmware the same way they target software on your laptops and servers. An unsecure printer with outdated firmware is essentially an unlocked backdoor to your company's confidential data. As part of our managed IT and managed print services, AIS completely takes over this burden. We ensure your devices have the latest security patches, encrypted hard drives, and secure boot settings so your network stays locked down tight. While we are keeping the digital side of your fleet secure, we absolutely cannot forget the physical mechanics. Tip number 6 is to routinely inspect your paper rollers and feed mechanism. Think of the feed rollers like the tires on your car. They are made of rubber and they rely on physical friction to grip and pull the paper through the machine. With every single page that passes through, that rubber wears down just a little bit. Combine that natural friction with our dry desert air and those rubber rollers can dry out, crack, or become completely smooth and shiny much faster than normal. When they lose that texture, your machine starts slipping. You get constant misfeeds, double feeding, or skew prints. As part of a structured managed print service, AIS technicians do not just wait for a catastrophic jam to happen. We inspect the thread of these rollers during our routine preventive maintenance visit and proactively swap them before they cause a workflow bottleneck. Moving right along to tip number 7, and this is a major warning. You must use high-quality supplies. It is incredibly tempting to fall for the toner pirates. As experts, we see the aftermath of this all the time. Poor quality counterfeit supplies cause massive toner leakage, permanently ruin your internal imaging components, and in many cases will entirely void your expensive manufacturer warranty. The money you save on a cheap cartridge is instantly wiped out by the cost of replacing a ruined drum unit. Stick to high-quality manufacturer-approved supplies. When you partner with a provider like AIS, your automated supply delivery guarantees you are always getting the exact premium toner designed specifically to protect your machine's engine. Even with the best in-house care, you still need professional preventative maintenance. Through secure cloud dashboards, our team at AIS monitors your device health, supply levels, and error code remotely. Traditional support waits for your machine to break, and then you have to wait for a tech to diagnose it. Remote print management is proactive. We see the early warning signs, like a fuser nearing to end on its life, and we schedule service before a meltdown occurs. When our technician arrives, they already have the exact part needed for the first visit fixed. Now, let's talk about the human element with tip number 9. Train your employees on proper usage. But the most robust preventive maintenance plan in the world cannot fix bad user habits. When a paper jam happens, the natural instinct is to grab the visible paper and yank it out as fast as possible. But doing that often tears the paper, leaving tiny, hidden scraps inside the machine that permanently damage delicate internal optical sensors. Other common user errors include aggressively slamming the paper tray shut, completely overfilling those trays past the fill line, or forcing the ground-sized paper through the bypass tray. All of this puts incredible unnecessary mechanical strain on your devices. This is exactly why AIS doesn't just drop off a machine and leave. We provide basic employee training and dedicated help desk support to empower your team. When your employees know how to handle and correctly handle the equipment, your emergency repair calls drop dramatically. Preventive maintenance always includes user awareness. Finally, we reach our 10th and final tip: monitor your diagnostic error logs. Modern multifunction printers are incredibly intelligent machines. They generate a massive amount of internal diagnostic data. By proactively monitoring these error logs, you can identify hidden patterns. For example, a log might show that a paper jam is repeatedly happening exclusively in tray 2, or that a specific internal sensor is throwing a micro error every time you print a heavy cardstock. Reviewing these logs allows you to catch component wear patterns and firmware conflicts early. However, asking your internal IT team to manually pull and read these logs on every single printer is a massive waste of their time. Data-driven maintenance is what separates a reactive office from a proactive business. If your office printers are experiencing frequent issues or your repair costs are rising, it is time to stop reacting and start preventing. AIS offers a print fleet maintenance assessment that evaluates your device age, usage volume, service history, and maintenance structure to identify major improvement opportunities. Proactive maintenance protects your investment on your bottom line. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the Copier channel for more expert tips on managing your office technology. And remember, you can worry less with AIS.